Man, it's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. Feel what I'm saying? Now listen, man, you can tap in and you can tap out, but you know my slogan, you know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now you already know time, energy, the highest forms of currency, my G's. I know they got you out here chasing the bag, chasing that money and chasing that paper, stacking that cheese, that cheddar, and that mozzarella. But always keep it in the front of your mental Rolodex. That time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G's, at all times. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Now, big salute to all my day one investors, everybody that's highly invested in the channel, everybody that understands that we are growing this channel organically, constant elevation. Yeah, we on our way to the top, well over 50,000 subscribers, and we on our way to 60K. Even bigger salute to all my newcomers, all my new subscribers, all my new investors, everybody that's making their way to the Realest channel on YouTube. Yours truly, Grown Man Business TV, is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Now, do me a favor, my G's. Wipe off your feet before you step into the big house. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear every time you step foot in the Realest channel on YouTube. Yours truly, Grown Man Business TV, is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. You know how I'm giving it up, and you absolutely know how I'm putting it down, my G's. All right? Now listen, man. Late night live stream. The downloads have downloaded. And I got a lot of people in my DM saying, yo, Big G and BTV, who you going for in the Super Bowl? Yo, Big G and BTV, what's your perspective on everything that's going on out there with the Super Bowl and the NFL? And one thing for sure, two things for certain, my G's, it is absolutely nasty work. It's absolutely nasty work because I slept through the Super Bowl. Yeah, I didn't stay up. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I didn't engage in the halftime show. I ain't with all that. You understand what I'm saying? It get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. And what I'm here to talk about is the Super Bowl weekend distraction. Oh yeah, you got to know something, right? It's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever. You can't hide forever, my G's. And this Super Bowl weekend was a distraction. The higher ups and the elites play chess at the highest level. And we're going to talk about that. You know, it's a lot going on outside. It's a lot going on American soil that nobody's talking about. That's one of the main reasons they hit my channel the way they hit my channel. That's one of the main reasons they attacked this platform the way they did. Broad daylight, right in front of you. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to necessarily talk about the typical narrative that's being pushed into the algorithm. So we about to go somewhere with this, all right? Now, you already know how we do over here at Grown Man Business TV, right? We got to do some customizations to the chat. Not only do we got to do some customizations to the chat, my G's, we going to talk about this next level security we about to do when it come to this platform. Big salute to my wrenches in here. Miss Lovelace, I see you in here. Mr. Universe, I see you in here. Yeah, we back active. Yeah, that live button went green. They couldn't stop the message. They can't stop the downloads. But I need you to know something, especially to the homie Mr. Universe, right? To all my blue wrenches, I'm going to do customizations to the chat for sure. One thing for sure and two things for certain, I'm going to do that. But we are not playing any more games in the chat. You understand what I'm saying? It's good to communicate, you know what I'm saying? Engage with the investors for sure. But if you got a blue wrench, that means you got a blue weapon on you. And I expect you to use it. Anybody making any inflammatory statements or talking like they might be going against the message, going against the downloads, out of here. No questions asked. Yeah. Shoot first, ask questions later. Yeah, a lot of y'all are in the DMs. Yo, G and BTV, block me from the channel. You know, this, that, and the third. If my shooters shoot, it is what it is. We'll talk about it later. But from this point forward, after what they tried to do to the channel, we are not playing any games. And if you got a blue wrench, that means you got authority. Anybody step into the chat that even look like the opposition. All right. Now, one thing for sure, two things for certain, like I said, right? We're going to do some customizations to the chat. The higher ups and the elites are always playing chess at the highest level. They always trying to shadow ban the channel and muffle the message. The higher ups and the elites understand that Grown Man Business TV is an absolute threat to the establishment. And not only am I a threat to the establishment, the revolution will be televised right here in these YouTube streets. So take it or leave it, like it or love it. All right, we're gonna do some customizations to the chat, and we're gonna talk about what's going on. Like, yeah. You know, the YouTube streets lackluster when I'm not around. Yeah, it ain't the same when I'm not around. You understand what I'm saying? So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. But we're gonna talk about this distraction. We're gonna talk about what happened out there in California that nobody's talking about. Oh yeah, you thought oh, you thought that went over my head and under my bridge. Nah, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. And we gonna be extra careful about this. But 600 people was arrested out there in California. Hey, listen, while y'all was watching the Super Bowl, while y'all was watching Bad Bunny pop, lock, and drop it, it's a whole situation that took place this week out there in California that nobody's talking about. And we're going to talk about that. So big salute to the chat. Well over 200 in here already. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You know what to do when you come in here. Wipe off your feet. We're going to have a conversation. But the higher ups in the elite, see, it's multiple different angles to this. Yeah, we're going to talk about what's going on with the Geppettos. You know, them little hat people out there in Israel. Yeah, see, it's a lot taking place on American soil. Huh? Epstein files. Everybody's talking about the Epstein files, but nobody wants to talk about, you know what? Let's get into what we getting into. Big salute to the chat. You already know what to do. I'm gonna make sure you do what you gotta do before you get into that comment section. Yeah, I like to make this jump. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. We back on, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we back live. All right. Now listen, man. You see that right there, right? You see that right there. Before you get in here with your Twitter fingers, using your Twitter fingers in the comment section, twittering and leaving your comments with your Twitter fingers and doing all the twittering in the comment section with your Twitter fingers, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear every time you step foot in the Realest channel on YouTube. Yours truly, Grown Man Business TV. All right? Let's get right into this. Now, a few days ago, over 600 arrests were made out there on the West Coast. Over 600 arrests were made out there in California due to human traffic light. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Trafficking with all the cars and traffic and doing stuff with traffic. Red light, green light. Over 600 arrests. Now, you got to understand something. This is more than just a operation. You understand? This is deep. It get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap, because for all of these years, right, we always find out about people missing. When I was growing up, we always talked and heard and learned about missing children on the back of milk cartons. And for all these years, we always wondered, where were these people going? Where did they end up? How is it that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people every year go missing? And then we have situations like what took place out there in California this week, right? Over 600 arrests. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to be able to look at the higher ups and elites. You got to be able to look through the smoke and mirrors and understand exactly what you're looking at. It's deeper. It's deeper than Epstein's Island. It's deeper than what we know. It's almost like somebody's feeding off of these people. Almost like these people are cattle that are being herded every year. Okay? Now, it's multiple levels to this, and we're gonna get into a couple of levels, because the more I looked into this situation, the more disgusted I was, the more nasty work was unveiled, especially out there in California. You know, I'm going to talk directly to California for a second. But organ harvesting, human trafficking, sex trafficking is something that is prevalent. It is highly sought after out there on the West Coast. And it has gotten to a point where even the gang members, the men in the community, they look past this situation. I mean, I'm gonna talk about this. Over there on Figueroa, where you know what's going down on Figueroa. You got the pimps and the pros. Yeah, the pimps and the pros walking up and down Figueroa out there in LA. Little did I know, oh, it's a bunch of children out there, young minors working on Figueroa. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know out there in the Hoovers neighborhood where the Hoovers do all they gang banging at? They allow young girls to walk the Figueroa streets, to make money, to be pimped and proed out there on Figueroa. So we're going to have this conversation because I'm more interested in talking about things like this than watching the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl didn't interest me. Every year it just gets more dull. I'm good. I watch Sports Center if I want to see what happened with the Super Bowl. But nobody's talking about 600 arrests out there in California. Nobody's talking about the teenage streetwalkers on Figueroa. All the way up to the higher ups and the elites, the reptilians that's feeding on these human traffic victims. All right. And we also going to speak, it's going to get deep. It's going to get deep. We're going to have a conversation. Salute, Breezy Santana, my wrenches, man. Make sure y'all work in that chat from here on out. Before anybody get a chance to even play with the channel, we gonna smoke they boots. And I ain't talking about no timeouts neither. We about to elevate this thing. This content is powerful. This content is powerful. And you see, everybody ain't getting suspended. Everybody ain't getting demonetized because of what they talking about. All right? Big salute to the chat, man. Over 400 in here. Hit the like button, subscribe button. Make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do when we get into this thing. Now, I want to start right here because you already know one thing for sure, two things for certain. I don't go nowhere without the receipts. I don't step out the house without the receipts. I don't make a move without the receipts, my G. So I want to give y'all some context on what I'm talking about. I want to give y'all some context on a topic we about to engulf. Listen, we about to go into this. Big salute to the chat. Do what you're supposed to do when you come in here. Oh, we back, baby. We back and we better than ever. Oh, yeah. Never a loss, only lessons. It's never a loss, only lessons. And I learned a lot of lessons over the last week and a half. I learned a lot. All right, big salute to the chat, man. Y'all know what to do. Let's get into this receipt right here, all right? It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, all right? Look!
A large part of the operation taking place... A large part of the operation taking place right here in LA County, considered a hotbed for human trafficking.
Among the victims, teenagers from all over the country, some as young as 13. And now it is News reporter Sid Garcia is live in downtown LA with all the details. Sid.
It's the 12th year in a row that this task force has been going after human traffickers. And in this latest one that happened about a week and a half ago, they made hundreds of arrests.
Human trafficking and child exploitation are devastating crimes.
The last week of January, local, state, and federal law enforcement teams went out to pick up solicitors and providers of young girls and boys involved in sex trafficking. They call it Operation Reclaim and Rebuild. Statewide, more than 600 arrests were made. 156 adults and 14 children were rescued from the streets of LA and up and down the state. The task force also confiscated several weapons in their week-long sting. Young girls and boys given a second chance to reclaim and rebuild their lives.
Survivors need care. They need time. They need a chance to rebuild their lives. And our partnerships with these organizations are what allows those individuals to reclaim their lives and rebuild their lives.
There's a number of service organizations the deputy chief alluded to that help the victims of human trafficking start over and rebuild their lives. These groups work hand in hand with law enforcement to help survivors of human trafficking. Sarah Elender is with Saving Innocence.
Because together we create something far greater than the sum of all of our parts. A unified and collective, collaborative response to meet survivors just where they are with just what they need.
Right now, those involved in human trafficking of a minor face a felony. For the trafficking of an adult, it's a misdemeanor. So I would...
Now I want to stop right there, right? You know, one thing we talk about on this channel is how the dog fur, oh yeah, don't you worry. It's always going to revert back to the dog fur. But one thing I elaborate on this channel is how the dog fur creates a problem and then plays victim or acts like it's looking for a solution. They create the problem and then they get on these news channels, right? These media outlets, and they act as if they're looking for a solution. Oh, trafficking a human is a misdemeanor for a child and a misdemeanor for... You understand? At the same time, being funded billions and billions of dollars to act like they trying to stop human trafficking. Okay? So I wanted to start with this angle right here. The double cross. The double cross is to make you think that they really care. The double cross is to make you think that they really are concerned about this situation with adults and minors being trafficked all over America. 600 people was arrested. That is an astronomical number. Like, let me tell you something. That should be the only thing anybody is talking about right now in any social media outlet, on the news, CNN, BET, Breakfast Club, whatever, Fox News. This is the only thing. 600 people arrested. So they want you to think that they care when I'm here to tell you it's all a play. It's all a play. You understand what I'm saying? This is how they funded. This is how they populated places like Epstein's Island. Sweeping America, sweeping all these different countries and scooping up people and trafficking them. You understand what I'm saying? So this is where we're going to start at again. The whole double cross and the triple cross. Act like you care. Create a problem. Act like you care and you're concerned. Get funded. Billions of taxpayers' dollars that act like and pretend like you're trying to put a stop to something the whole time y'all got your hands in the pot. Let me give you some context and let me give you an example. Y'all remember the war on drugs? Oh, yeah, but listen. Pure dope straight off the brick into the bottles. Y'all remember the war on drugs? Y'all remember all the tax-paying dollars, billions and billions of dollars that funded the war on drugs? Come to find out they was putting the drugs in our community. Come to find out the very ones that was telling us it's a war on drugs was supplying the drugs, making us believe that we needed to pay taxes, that we needed to make sure they was funded billions of dollars to stop this war on drugs. I keep telling y'all it's the same Hail Mary play. It's the same Hail Mary play being ran over and over and over again. I mean, let's talk about, let's look out there in Minneapolis, the Somalians, billions and billions of dollars to fund ICE to act like we are concerned about a problem with the Somalians smuggling and scamming money when the whole time y'all was helping them smuggle and scam the money. So this whole situation with the trafficking out there in LA is no different. Oh, it's no different. And when you can see through the smoke and mirrors, I mean, it's easy to see. It ain't hard to tell. It ain't hard to tell, my G. Okay? They got their hands in the pot. If it was 600 arrests made, that means 5,000 got away. Okay? Now, this is where we get a little bit deeper into this aspect of it, right? Where and what is this happening for? Well, again, you got brothels, you got prostitution. You know, you got obvious reasons why people are being trafficked, right? But then you got organ harvesting. And I got to be honest, for some reason, California is the epicenter. I'm sure it's happening all over America, but the West Coast is the epicenter. And I say that because some years ago, I remember them doing a whole FBI raid of a warehouse. And this warehouse out there in California had thousands and thousands of different body parts in it. I'm talking whatever kind of body part you need, we got it. Yeah. You need a knee, we got it. You need a liver, we got it. You need a thigh bone, well, you need a bicep or a tricep, whatever you need. So something is, that West Coast, that Hollywood, is something going on out there. Okay, so a lot of these people are never being found again. They're ending up somewhere chopped up, in a freezer for sale. But the one part in the angle that nobody wants to talk about is the cannibalistic ways of the higher ups and the elites. See, we all know about Figueroa. Well, I didn't know about Figueroa, but prostitution. We're going to get back to Figueroa. We all know about organ harvesting. We've heard about those things. We know that is something that is prevalent. We know that is something that is possible and it is taking place on American soil. But nobody wants to talk about the cannibalistic ways of the higher ups and the elites. And what do you mean by that? Well, I said exactly what I said. If you don't know what a cannibal is, you need to use Google. They're eating. Listen, man. Oh, I gotta be honest, man. It's almost like a vampire movie. You know what I'm saying? Like that movie Sinners and all that. How that white man was just jumping out there, eating, biting, feeding. And not only are they eating, they got a lot of y'all eating as well. Oh, yeah. You thought McDonald's was selling you beef from a cow? Oh, you thought that was cow beef? When you go to Taco Bell, you thought that was ground beef in that soft taco, didn't you? Oh, yeah, my bad. I don't mind being the bearer of bad news. You thought, you know what? How about this, man? A lot of the times when I tell y'all something, it hits harder when the dog fur tell you. See, sometimes the dog fur can tell you the same thing, can relay the same message that I'm relaying, but for that dog fur, a lot of y'all believe, you know what? Let's get into this next receipt. All right? Now, it's not just organ harvesting. It's not just prostitution. It's they eating. Yeah, they feeding, they grubbing. And they've been doing this for hundreds and hundreds of years. Talk to the people, my G. Look!
Eating their slaves. In honor of Black History Month, let's talk about history that doesn't make headlines, mainly because we got idiots like this trying to whitewash history.
In 1800, President John Adams took up residence in what was then called the Executive Mansion. It was only later on they named it the White House. Slaves that worked there were well fed and had decent lodgings provided by the government.
One of the most famous cases of this is Nat Turner, a man who led one of the largest slave rebellions of his time. Turner was eventually caught and he was flayed, and they used his skin to make a coin purse, while his bones were divided out as trophies to be passed down as heirlooms. And lastly, What was left of him was turned into grease. Slavers at the time described black people as seasoned, as all food should be, and more seasoned potentially meant more money when selling them at auctions. Slavery in its entirety was cannibalistic. They cannibalized their lives, their souls, and yes, even their bodies. My goal for this knowledge is to be used as a tool or a weapon to fight back against these narratives. The narratives that they were well fed, had a roof over their head, or they didn't have it that bad. Because you will always have people like Bill O'Reilly in this clip that are trying to whitewash history. White people were eating their slaves in honor of black.
Now, he said it. I didn't. Okay? So I just wanted to give you some game on that so you could understand where I'm going with this. Oh, because it's going to get a little bit deeper. Oh, you thought it couldn't get no deeper than cannibalism? You thought it couldn't get no deeper? Oh, it's going to get a little bit deeper. All right? But hundreds of years ago, even through slavery, they were hanging, castrating, and eating. Now, again, right? Why am I speaking on this? Because they wanted to play with, they thought they could stop this message. They thought that they could put the Super Bowl on and we was going to talk about the Seattle Seahawks. They thought that they could play with the platform. Nah. It's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever. And if you can't hide forever, why would you ever run? We are not running. We are not ducking or hiding. Okay? So you got organ harvesting. That we've been finding out about this for years now. You got underage prostitution. I want to use it like that. I want to say it like that. And out there in California, because we're going to get back into the cannibalism, but I want to stop right here. Out there in California, there is an abundance of underage girls that are walking the pro stroll. Yeah, pimps and pros. And everybody knows it. Everybody sees these young girls walking around out there in these areas. Yeah, pop locking and dropping it. And nobody, not a gang leader, not a drug dealer, not a hooligan, not nobody is in control and saying, hey, we ain't allowing no minors out here popping. Yeah, y'all ain't gonna be selling none of that out here as a minor. Okay? So it's nasty work on all angles. And the higher ups and the elites is pulling the strings, homie. They pulling the strings, and I mean, it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. But if you got dudes like OG Gumby or all of these so-called OGs out there in the Hoovers and in the 60s or whatever, why y'all ain't ran down on these pimps? Why y'all ain't cleaned up the whole stroll so pedos and child molesters can't just roll up, spend $20 and get, yeah, come on, son. What we talking about? Nasty work was going on out there in California. Y'all, boy, I lost faith in y'all a long time ago. When y'all killed Nipsey Hussle, y'all killed Cali. LA, that is. All right. So you got underage prostitution. You got organ harvesting. You also got cannibalism. Yeah, it got to be multiple different angles when it come to this. If you can make a 600 person arrest, you arrested 600 people involved in human trafficking. And ain't nobody talking about this. You know what? Before we go any further, I want to show y'all something. You know, when I did my research, I came across a LA rapper by the name of Snoopy Badass. I don't know if y'all know who Snoopy Badass is. He is a West Coast rapper and blogger and gang member, right? And I came across an interview he had where he was talking about his baby mama, right? Tiana, his baby mama name is Tiana, right? And her oldest daughter is a well-known prostitute on Figueroa. And she is 14 to 15 years old, right? And I was kind of shocked by that. You know, again, y'all already know I do my due diligence. I don't just get up here and get to talking. I ain't wasting no words and I ain't wasting my breath. It's too powerful, right? So I did my due diligence and I found this girl. Now, mind you, again, everybody know that it's young girls out there walking the strip in LA. And ain't nobody put a stop to this, right? Y'all just cool with that. Because the only ones picking up these young girls is pedos. I'm gonna show y'all a click receipt of this situation with this young girl. I want y'all to see how I want y'all to see what I'm talking about, all right? Real quick, and then we gonna move forward. But again, I don't expect nothing from you gang members. Y'all too busy out there, you know, yeah, with Adam 22. Yeah, doing man on man and making, yeah, y'all doing, yeah, adult films and all that. So y'all ain't got no power. You gang members out there, yeah, man, like it or love it. Y'all ain't got no power. Let's look at this. Big salute to the chat. Look.
I never would have did. Like, you couldn't pay me to do it.
How old are you now? Nova?
15.
15. Are you going to school?
No, I start school in August. Whoa. What's that?
Have you still been working on the streets? Mm-mm. Or motels or hotels or anything like that? You're not doing sex work?
Mm-mm. No.
You're not selling videos?
No.
Tell the truth.
Yeah, I've been selling.
You have to stop.
No, I've been stopping though because they keep deleting my Instagram for child pornography. So I just stopped.
They done made websites, my baby,
They got
and
websites,
I don't like that. It's like
OnlyFans, all type of stuff.
Like it's
How
crazy.
do you think Nova got this way, Tania?
Now, I want to stop right there because I got to be careful. You already know I got to be careful. But that's what's walking around out there in LA. Salute to Snoopy Badass, man. And, you know, he spoke about this and I had to do my due diligence and I found this. It get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. Listen, you got to understand something. The higher ups and the elites are going to have their hands in the pot, but they're also going to create situations where you go ahead and do the dirty work for them. The higher ups and the elites are going to always have their hands in the pot, but they're also going to create situations for you to do the dirty work for them. Again, the war on drugs. They put the drugs in our community. They got their hands in the pot. And then they sit back and they watch us sell the drugs. They watch us destroy our community. They watch us go to jail. They watch us kill. They watch us destroy our families. They watch us do the dirty work for them. So that's what's going on in LA right now. A whole bunch of human trafficking. A whole bunch of pedo activity. And they got everybody talking about the Super Bowl. They got everybody looking at the Seattle Seahawks. They got everybody engaged in a circus. Okay? Is what it is. And it'll be what it's going to be. It's nasty work. Okay? At the same time, they got you engaged in a circus. They feeding you hamburgers made out of human. Yes, it's human. It's human. Yeah. You ain't ate beef in a long time, brother. You ain't ate beef in a long time, brother. Oh, you thought that Chick-fil-A sandwich was a chicken? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My bad. You thought that was chicken. You was. Okay? But on another level, right? they are using these people and they are cloning. They are creating humanoid. Oh, the downloads are downloading. I ain't supposed to be telling you this. They are creating humanoids. They are low key, behind the smoking mirrors, behind closed doors, creating humanoids. Because now this is where we're gonna get a little bit deep, and this is as far as we're gonna go. Their time is running out. Their time is running out. You know, the blood is not enough anymore. It's not enough to keep them strong. It's not enough to give them the eternal life that they're looking for, the genochrome and the adrenochrome and all of that. It's not enough. They are cloning for organs, for skin, for melanin. They are doing anything that they can to survive the next 5 to 6 years on this planet. With the sun heating up, the solar flares. I mean, oh yeah, it's not something you got to worry about, because this melanin right here is like a superhero. This melanin right here is like the ultimate protection. So you ain't really worried about it. You ain't really thinking about it. But that dog fur, oh yeah, that dog fur, that's all they thinking about. That's all they worried about. Oh, it ain't enough to sacrifice something. That ain't working no more. That's wearing down. That's becoming redundant. It ain't enough to scare a human and get that adrenochrome up out of them. That ain't working no more. It's starting to show. We starting to look at these people and we starting to see the cracks in the. Yeah. So I want you to understand something, right? Epstein's Island is very important. It is very important that we figure out and we are aware and we are made known of everybody that was on that island partaking in those festivities, right? But don't let them trick you out of position, and don't ever fall for the double cross. If they got you looking at Epstein's Island and they got you looking at Jay-Z and Pusha T, what are they distracting you from? Them 600 arrests out there in LA. Now, I want to go left with this. Oh yeah, I said what I said. Them 600 arrests. What they got you here? Yeah. Yeah. We gonna go left, but I need you to understand something. What does it really matter what was going on Epstein Island if Epstein Island don't even really exist anymore? What do it really matter what was going on Epstein's Island if Epstein is dead? What does it really matter what's going on or what happened on Epstein's Island if nobody is going to be prosecuted? Nobody is going to face the wrath. Nobody is going to go to jail. What is the point? What is the real situation with Epstein's Island if all we're going to see is black celebrities being crucified and having their character assassinated for the public to see? Nobody's going to go to jail. Nobody's going to be prosecuted. What is the real reason why they're feeding us, bird feeding us small bits and pieces of the Epstein files? You know why? Because they got another island somewhere. They got another underground bunker somewhere. They got tractor trailers driving all across America with people in the back of them. Oh yeah, I told you we was coming back with a vengeance. Okay? Now, I want to go left with this, and I want to approach another angle that nobody talks about, but I want to talk about it. You know, the dog fur always puts emphasis on black violence. The dog fur always talks about how violent the urban community is, how black men make up for over 50% of violent crimes in America, right? And it's something that has been fed to us, that has been, forced upon us. We have literally been indoctrinated with this information. So that if somebody asks you that question, you will immediately say what I just said. But the problem I have with that is the dog fur makes up for almost 80%, well, over 80% of pedo activity in America. The dog fur makes up for over 80% of grape in America. The dog fur makes up for over 80 to 90% of all of those situations. And the dog fur doesn't consider those situations violent crime. I just played the receipt for you where they told you out their own mouth that human trafficking a minor is a felony, but human trafficking an adult is a misdemeanor. Imagine getting a felony for having a bag of weed in your pocket. Imagine growing up in a society where you automatically get a felony for having a bag of weed in your pocket, but you get a misdemeanor for sex trafficking a woman. You get a misdemeanor for human trafficking. You get 2.5 months for a grape charge. Imagine that. So if we was to actually do the math, which is not rocket science, easy math, if we was to add grape into violent crimes, if we was to add molestation into violent crimes, if we was to add pedo activity into violent crimes, there would be nobody that does more than that dog fur. Respectfully, I'm not trying to disrespect you, but on this angle, I am trying to disrespect you with the utmost disrespect. You know what? Let's let this run. I want y'all to hear with your own eye. I want you to close your mouth and open your ears and listen to this. Look.
Just what they need.
Right now, those involved in human trafficking of a minor face a felony. For the trafficking of an adult, it's a misdemeanor. Involved in human trafficking of a minor face a felony. For the trafficking of an adult, it's a misdemeanor. So right now, those involved in human trafficking of a minor face a felony. For the trafficking of an adult, it's a misdemeanor. Right now, those involved in human trafficking of a minor face a felony. For the trafficking of an adult, it's a misdemeanor.
Okay. So they so concerned about human trafficking. But if you traffic an adult against their will, you're only going to get a misdemeanor on American soil. Yeah. A misdemeanor. Okay? It's absolutely nasty work. And the downloads were so heavy as far as this topic. It had to be one of the ones that I start this live stream off with. I had to speak on this. I didn't want to speak on the Super Bowl. I'm gonna do a live stream, or I might talk about the situation with Glorilla and Brorilla, maybe at the end of this live stream, or maybe I might not. Maybe I might just do a whole live on that. But this right here is something that weighed heavy on me because it's being done right in front of our face. And then we allow the same people that to give you a misdemeanor for human trafficking. We allow those same people to judge us in the court of law. We allow them same people to give us 100 years in the court of law. We allow them same people to give us a felony for a bag of weed. We allow them same people to call us savages. Nasty work. Nasty work. And at the end of the day, you already know how I feel about war. You already know I'm a war general. How did we get here? Because we never took them to war. We only went to war with ourselves. You know, I got another receipt. I want you to hear how these people talk about us out their own mouth, and then we gonna elaborate, and then we gonna move forward. Big salute to the chat. Y'all already know what to do in here. We not playing no more games with the algorithm. We have no competition in this algorithm. We have no peers in this algorithm. It's nobody in this lane. So the thing that we got to make sure we doing is protecting this lane, because ain't nobody in this lane. Yeah, I rub shoulders with a lot of YouTubers, but I don't have no competition and I don't have no peers, because there's nobody talking like this. Yeah, you niggas better keep talking. Yeah, you know what to do. Hey, let's let them go ahead and talk to the people. Look.
Both Senator Padilla and Senator Booker spent a great deal of time talking about, quote, red states. There's a reason they were talking about red states, because unfortunately, most red states have blue cities. And that's where the crime is. If you want to look at in 2023, the large cities with the most homicides per 100,000 people, number one was New Orleans, Louisiana. Number two was Memphis, Tennessee. Number three was St. Louis City. Number four was Baltimore City. Number five was Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna let them keep. I'm gonna let them keep talking. Don't worry. But I keep telling y'all, right? All they got to do is put a suit on, right? Put a tie on, right? Hold on. All they got to do is put a tie on, put a suit on, right? And slick that dog fur back, and we believe whatever they say. Oh, the most cities with the most crime and violent crimes: New Orleans, Washington D.C. Oh, and we just eat it on up. We just believe it. Yeah, we don't care. We just think it's the most. Yeah, it got to be the truth. It got the cities with the most violent crimes. New Orleans, the urban community, Black America. They're committing all the goddamn crime. But y'all don't even consider human trafficking a felony. What? And I ain't gonna lie to you. Hold up. Let me make sure I'm here on point. They playing with the work right now. They playing with the work. Hold up. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm gonna keep it cool on them. You know what I mean? Respectfully, I'm gonna keep it cool. I want to make sure I keep it cool on them. You know what I mean? But yeah, let me get what I got. Don't take it from me. Yeah, don't take it from me. Let's let them talk. Let's let them talk. Big salute to the chat. Hit the like button and all that. Look.
The large cities with the most homicides per 100,000 people. Number one was New Orleans, Louisiana. Number two was Memphis, Tennessee. Number three was St. Louis City. Number four was Baltimore City. Number five was Washington, D.C. Democrat crime policies kill people. Soros DAs who let murderers out of jail kill people. When you don't prosecute violent criminals, innocent victims die.
Now, you heard what he just said. When you don't prosecute violent victims, innocent people die. Remember that as he goes forward, fam, because
the totaled fewer than 100. By 2023, murders had nearly tripled, 274 lives taken in a single year. These are the real-world consequences of Democrat crime policies that let murderers go. It is very simple cause and effect. If you release murderers onto the street, they will kill people, and they do it all across the country. And we need to understand these are not just numbers. Here are some of the faces behind those numbers. Edward Correstein, 19, brutally assaulted during a carjacking attempt in D.C. Eric Tarpinian Jackim, 21, a young congressional intern gunned down in the capital city.
Now, I want to stop him. I want to stop him right there. And you notice how everybody on this panel right here in these pictures got the dog fur. So what he's saying and what he is alluding to is that black people are creating and causing these crimes. You understand what I'm saying? And white people, dog fur, they're in danger. But again, and he's gonna say something that I really want y'all to notice. I'm gonna let him talk. So he's gonna say something. I'm going somewhere with this. All right, I'm going somewhere. Go ahead and talk to the people. I ain't wait. Look.
Honesty Cheadle, 3 years old, just a toddler, killed by stray gunfire. Sarah Lynn Milgram, 26, and Yaron Lachinsky, 30, Israeli embassy staffers newly in love on the verge of engagement, brutally murdered. Mrs. Cook, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing the unbelievable pain and loss that you have endured through the loss of your grandson. I'm sorry that happened. Your grandson should have been protected. The city should have protected your grandson. He should still be alive. And tragically, this pattern keeps on happening. Stop rape. How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles? I want you to look at what happened together and say, let's stop rape. How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles? I think that's a great idea. We should have bipartisan agreement. How about we all come together and say, let's stop murders? How about we all come together and say, let's stop rape? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles? I think that's a great idea. We should have bipartisan agreement. How about we all come together and say, let's stop murders? How about we all come together and say, let's stop rape? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
What? Oh yeah, you heard him. Let's stop the deletion. Let's stop grape. But let's make sure we stop attacking pedos. Now, mind you, he said this out his own mouth. I can't make it up. I ain't lying. He said it. And what you will notice is he didn't even correct himself. Imagine saying something like that by mistake. Let's stop deletions. Let's stop grape. And let's stop attacking pedos. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say let's stop pedos. The first thing you would have did was correct yourself. Hold on. I didn't mean to say that. He just kept talking. He just kept, you know what? One more time. One more time for the people that was in the back. Listen, look.
Come together and say, let's stop murders. How about we all come together and say, let's stop rape? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles? I want you to look at what happened when the National Guard went to D.C. Robbery fell. Bipartisan agreement. How about we all come together and say, let's stop murders? How about we all come together and say, let's stop rape? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles? I want you to look at what happened when the National Guard went to D.C.
We wouldn't give a goddamn what the National Guard did when they went to D.C. We want to know why you want us to stop attacking pedos. Could it be that you're a pedo? Could it be that you were projecting in your moment of truth and you were letting us know that you are down with the pedo nation? Huh? I keep telling y'all, they dress them up with those ties and them suits. Yeah. Slick that dog fur back, put that gel all in that dog fur and slick it back. And you believe everything they say. And behind closed doors, he one of them dudes out there on Figueroa. Oh yeah, Ted Cruz, allegedly. Ted Cruz is a mayor, a governor. He's a councilman out there in Texas. His name is Ted Cruz. Telling us not to attack pedos. Oh, but we should worry about the murderers. We should be looking into the people who are robbing, stealing. But don't you lay a finger on them pedos right there. Don't you lay a finger. Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, right? I wanted to shine some light on this. You know, when I went to Thailand, right? I'll say this. When I went to Thailand, right? I think it was 2019, 2018 and 19. Me and the old lady, we went out to Thailand for a couple of weeks, had an amazing time. But it was a time where we were in Bangkok, Thailand. And, you know, I'm from VA, man. You know what I'm saying? We go to these different countries and different states, you know. I'm a hood nigga at heart. You know what I mean? Yeah, respectfully. I'm a hood nigga that made it to the other side. That's all I am, right? So we get to Bangkok and I want to go to a strip club. Now, I don't know what's going on in Bangkok. I didn't do my research. I want to go to a strip club. They take us to a strip club, and the strip club don't look like the strip clubs that I'm used to. Yeah. Yeah, me and my wife, we walk in there, we looking around, and it's dark in here. It's gloomy. It's dirty. I noticed very fast that the chairs and shit, it was dirty. Like I didn't understand. I'm thinking I'm thinking Atlanta, Miami. You know, I'm thinking something like that, right? And the strippers and the waitresses, they all look like lady boys. I mean, I'm saying I don't know. These women don't really got bodies. They don't look like voluptuous women. And maybe 2 seconds later, my mind, bing. We in the wrong. Oh, Thailand, lady boys, minors. Oh, my bad. We in the wrong place. But I had already ordered my wife a drink, right? And again, the waitress it was something that was on the stage dancing around. But the waitress was like, I'm thinking like, how the fuck are you a waitress? Like, what's going on? I done gave her some of the bak. The money is called bak in Thailand, bak. So I done gave her a whole bunch of baks, and I need to get my change, right? But me and my old lady, we already saying we getting up out of here, but I need my change real quick. So we standing there waiting for her to come back, and I get to looking around, and I'll never forget it. We gonna go to another angle, but I'll never forget. Off over there by the stage in the corner was a table with about 8 white people was at that table. 8 white people. And they were Americans. I could tell that they was Americans. I could tell when I made eye contact with them, they was from America. The way they was dressed, I could just tell, right? And I made eye contact with one of the dog fur people that was over there. Looked just like Ted Cruz. Yeah, that's how this downloaded. The man looked just like Ted Cruz. And we made eye contact. And he looked at me like, oh. And I was like, huh? Like, huh? And he was like, and what that told me was they were in there for the lady boys. Now, this could have been Ted Cruz. It could have been a judge. It could have been your doctor. It could have been your lawyer. Like when I looked over there, it looked like a table full of judges and maybe politicians, right? It looked like some school teachers. The women looked like school teachers and the men looked like Ted Cruz. And they was over there. Mind you, before me and him made eye contact, because I seen him before he saw me. Oh, he was dancing around. Oh, yeah. And he was drinking, and he was all in his element. And when we made eye contact, it's another American in here. What the hell? Some goddamn niggers is in here. Yeah, nigga, I see you. And me and my wife got up out of there. I say that to say this. Dudes like Ted Cruz allegedly go out to Thailand so they can enjoy that minor activity. Dudes like Ted Cruz, they go out there to Bangkok so they can bang cock. Yeah. Yeah. Listen to me. That one right there, that bar just came right off the top of the dome right there. That's the downloads downloading. Dudes like Ted Cruz go out there to bang cock so they can bang cock. Yeah. Sword fight. Let me tell you something. Me and that man made eye contact. I could read his mind. He was there for the minors. He had already placed the order. Like, the shit was so weird. I never been, like, it was dark. It was gloomy. It was like real retroactive, like techno music. And the motherfucker on the stage was built like a motherfucker. Like, the motherfucker on stage was built like a teenage boy. I'm saying, well, who the fuck gonna throw dollars at that? Yeah, I don't know who gonna throw baccarat at that. Yeah. I get to looking around. I'm saying, ain't nobody in here got a shape where I would throw baccarat. What's going on in here? Bangkok to bang cock. Yeah, respectfully. Yeah, that's what they was doing out there. And I'm just saying that to say, when he said, let's not attack pedophiles, that was him projecting. Because when him and his family go on family vacations to Bangkok, that's literally what he's out there doing. And then he comes back to America and he puts a suit and a tie on and he slicks that dog fur back and he tells you the criminals have to be arrested. We need to lock everybody up. You're a goddamn criminal. These same men go out to Bangkok, they Bangkok with minors, and then they come back and they sit in the judge's booth and they judge us. And they give us 100 years for a kilo of dope. They give us felony charges for a bag of weed. And then in the summertime, they go out there to Bangkok, Thailand. Yeah, don't forget the Thailand, to Bangkok with lady boys. That's why it's only a misdemeanor. That's why he said he don't want you to lay a finger on the pedos. Yeah, never forget it. Had a great time in Thailand. You know, Thailand was a beautiful experience, but I'll never forget. Yeah, like, where you want to go? Let's go to a strip club. Let's go to a strip club. And the man in the teepee, they drive teepees and shit. It's like a go-kart with a roof on it. Yeah, we hop in the TP. He driving like, I got video. He driving like a motherfucker. We in the Thailand. We in Bangkok. And he taking me right to a goddamn strip club. I was already upset about that, but I understood that he didn't understand. I understood he didn't understand. He thought we was American like Ted Cruz. Yeah, we know what the American likey when he come here. The American likey. We know the American likey, the lady boy, when he come round. That's what he thought. Big salute to the chat, man. You know, we are in a time where it is deeper than you could ever imagine. We are in a time on American soil in American history where the truth is more bizarre than a lie. The truth is more bizarre than the lies. That's why when you tell the truth, it sounds like a conspiracy. This can't be real. But it is what it is. You know, organ harvesting, yeah. Sex trafficking, yeah. Okay, we can get that. But cloning, nobody really understands that part of it. Cannibalism. It's not enough for them just to be cannibals. They need us to be cannibals. And if we don't ask any questions and we just go along with the get along, they have not broken a universal law by feeding us. Feeding us. If you don't ask yourself, how in the hell has McDonald's sold 2 billion burgers and we ain't got that many goddamn cows in America? We ain't got that much beef. If you don't ask yourself that question and you go eat yourself a cheeseburger, well, goddamn it is what it is. Nobody's going to be prosecuted. Nobody's going to be punished. No universal law has been broken. You go to goddamn Taco Bell and you say, give me a goddamn 4 soft tacos. Yeah, I want them soft with the 4. Fill it up. Yeah, give me a beef burrito, please. Extra large beef burrito. Where's they getting that beef from? It ain't enough goddamn cow. We ain't got no farms in America. Where's they getting? It ain't enough land to bury all these bodies. You ever thought about that? Huh? You ever thought about that? Really thought about that? All the people that die every day. It ain't enough goddamn land in America to bury all the bodies from 1900 to 2026. It wouldn't be a plot of goddamn land to buy. It wouldn't be no land for you to purchase if they put all those bodies in the ground and just let them sit there. Valuable land. Yeah. You know how much an acre is? You know how much a plot of land is? You think they're gonna leave your dead ass in the ground when we could sell this land? Yeah. Respectfully. All right? It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. You could like it or love it. You could like it or you could love it. But the higher ups and the elites, man, it is a diabolical game that's being played right now, right in front of our face. All right. Now, I'm probably going to do a whole live stream on this, but I want to talk about this before we close out. You know what I'm saying? And, I just want to say this, and I feel the need to say this while I'm already here. And like I said, I might go live on this tomorrow and just do a whole live stream on it, depending on how I feel after I say this. But everybody's talking about Glorilla. Everybody is in my DM. Everybody is asking Big G and BTV, what's your perspective on the situation with Glorilla and Brorilla? Yeah, I like that. I like Brorilla. But they call her Scarface Woods, right? What do you think about that? What is your thought process on that whole situation? Do you think that Glorilla is right, or do you think that Brorilla is right? Do you think that Brorilla is wrong, or do you think that Glorilla is wrong? And at first I said to myself, this ain't the channel for that. Like, this ain't the channel where we gonna talk about Glorilla. This ain't the channel. You can go to Harlem Legend and all them dudes for that. You know what I'm saying? You can go to Hassan Campbell. You could go to a lot of different platforms to talk about Glorilla and Brorilla, right? But then the downloads downloaded. And when the downloads download, there's nothing I could do but deliver the downloads. There is no turning back, and the downloads downloaded. And, I want to say this, right? I'm not big on telling Black people to follow the lead of other cultures. I'm not one of the guys that's going to say, white people do this, so we should do it, because the dog fur do what the dog fur do. I'm not one of them people that's going to say, these people, Nah, because a lot of the things that work for them ain't going to work for us. But I will say, right, how do you think Indians came to America? I'm talking the real Indians with the red dot on their head, not the fake Native Americans. I'm talking about the Indians with the dot. How do you think they came, conquered on this land? It's because you are obligated. See, you are absolutely obligated. When the Indians come over here, right? They will live in the same house, right? Everybody will live in the same house. And when one of them gets old enough to go to college, right, become a doctor or open a car dealership, because a lot of Indians own car dealerships, they are obligated. Nobody has to tell them that they are obligated. They already understand and they recognize the obligation that they have to their family. And what they do is they employ their family in the dealership. So you walk into the dealership, you got an Indian person over here, you got a couple of Indian people over there, etc. And they work that dealership. And when they get to the point where it's time to buy another dealership, one of those family members go out, they support, and they open another dealership. And before you know it, this one Indian family is now in possession of 3 full running car dealerships because of an obligation. So for everybody saying that Glorilla is not obligated, what I'm here to tell you is I believe she is obligated. Okay? Now, you know, did Shorty go a little bit overboard the way she was talking and doing interviews and, you know what I'm saying, X, Y, and Z? Yeah, I can agree with that. But maybe she had to do the extreme to get Glorilla's attention, and it's obviously working. Now, again, put it in chat. How? That's what's wrong. That's one of the things that's wrong with us, my people. We all grow up poor together, right? And one of us makes it out. And the first thing they say, or the first thing we say is, I'm not obligated. And I'm not saying that Glorilla or whoever is in that position is obligated to take care of you. That's absolutely not the situation. But you are obligated to at least put somebody in position. You are obligated to at least turn somebody up. And that's why I don't like that shit. I feel like Glorilla, that shit is nasty work. You ain't got to give nobody a paycheck every week. You ain't got to give somebody money every week, but you are obligated to turn around, reach back into the pot, and pull your motherfucking people out one by one. You are obligated to do that. Crabs in a fucking barrel. That's what we are. And I know Jay-Z, he made a good point. Crabs don't belong in the barrel. So the real question is, how did we get in the barrel? But that's for another time. That's for another live stream. The fact of the matter is, we are crabs that somehow ended up in a barrel. And we all trying to get out. We all trying to get out. We all trying to figure the way to get to the top of this barrel. And guess what? Through the trials and tribulations, one of us crabs makes it out the barrel. We get to the top of the fucking edge of the barrel and we look down at all the crabs down there and we say, I ain't obligated to help none of you niggas get up out this barrel. You know what I had to do to get out the barrel? I'm not obligated to help y'all get out the barrel. And what I'm here to tell you is, you are absolutely obligated. You are obligated to turn around, drop down a ladder. You are obligated to turn around and put a stick in there, put a ladder in there, put something in there so that we can come up out of that as well. My people are some of the only people that I see do that. That's one of the reasons we don't elevate. That's one of the reasons we can't build a Black Wall Street. That's one of the reasons we haven't leveled up to a level that they believe we supposed to be at. Because as soon as a nigga gets some money, he ain't obligated no more. Now, let me go into another angle with this. And I got a receipt, right? You know what? I want to play this receipt because the little shorty is funny to me. You know what I'm saying? I want to show you I want to let you hear it out their mouth. And then I'm going to play another receipt of Scarface Woods. But I'm going to clip this up. I'm not even going to do a live stream on it because it ain't something that need a whole live stream worth of energy. I'm going to clip this up and I'm going to make it a pre-record. Let's get into this first receipt right here, right? Look.
Yeah, I'm seeing everything that's going on with Glorilla and her sister and, you know, that's going off on live on whatever she doing. Let me just tell you like this. There'll be people in your family that will watch you carry the bricks by yourself, build your own house, and then want to move in. They ain't help do nothing. But when you make it, they got a sense of entitlement like you owe them something. Glorilla don't owe nobody nothing. Yeah, I'm seeing everything that's going on with Glorilla and her sister and, you know, that's going off on live on whatever she doing. Let me just tell you like this. There'll be people in your family that will watch you carry the bricks by yourself, build your own house, and then want to move in. They ain't help do nothing. But when you make it, they got a sense of entitlement like you owe them something. Glorilla don't owe nobody nothing.
You see what I mean? That's the ideology. Now, them Indians, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you. It's some Indians that live right next door to me. I watched them do this. I watched them do it. Right? That's not, it sound good. Gorilla don't owe you nobody. No. Actually, she do. She actually does. You know, they watch you build the house brick by brick and they didn't help. It don't matter. None of that matters. All that matters is that you are the one. You are the first millionaire in the family. You are the first successful one to make it out. That's all that matters. It don't matter if they helped you or not. And all you are obligated to do is create an opportunity. See, again, soon as we get some money, nigga want to talk like, no, you ain't obligated to give nobody no money, but you are obligated to create an opportunity. Okay? And I'm going to play one more receipt right before we go, but I want to just show you the Scarface Woods chick, right? You know, first off, she looked just like Glorilla. She looked just like Glorilla. And I'm going to close with that angle on how they look. Nasty work. Nasty work, my G. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But let's let Scarface just talk for a few minutes, all right? Look.
How do I? Cause then, ho, your motherfucker, bitch, this shit tight as hell, ho. You be on streaming so motherfucking long, ho. We know you ain't exercising, bitch. How much was your tummy tuck? Cause I need one too. How much is your? Help a dyke out. We both dykes. How much was your motherfucking tummy tuck, ho? I need one. Shoes still in jail. You ain't made bail.
Yo, now look, I ain't gonna play too much of that, but I'm just this receipt right here stuck out to me because, like I said, you're not obligated to give nobody no money, but the opportunity, you are obligated. So these Indians, they don't sit in a house and go open dealerships and say, yo, I'ma just give y'all a check every day. No, they open up the door for opportunity. I got this dealership. All of y'all could come work for me if you want to. Now, watching her live streams, what I instantly realized and what I instantly was able to home in on is that this little chick is funny as hell. She got a lot of charisma. She is very funny, my G. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Right here, she not even talking about Glow. She talking about Finesse 2 times. They going back and forth, right? And when I tell you this shit is hilarious, Skin Bones already done linked up with her. Tory Lanez done sent her some paper. Everybody is linking up, not because she's Glorilla little sister, it's because she got a lot of charisma. She funny as hell. So That's what I'm saying. Glorilla, knowing her sister, should already known, like, okay, I don't rock with you, right? But you are funny. Let's start a YouTube channel. You know what? I don't rock with you, right? But you are, you know what? I'm gonna put you on my next video. I'm gonna create an opportunity for you to start your own situation, for you to become your own celebrity. But I'm not gonna give you no money. Cool. Cool. You know what? We had problems back in the day. You pulled the gun on me. We had problems. But you know what? You my little sister, and this what it is. But again, soon as we get some money, right? Now all of a sudden you ain't got time. Now all of a sudden you big glow. Nah. And we gonna get into that. Nah, you ain't. Now all of a sudden you big glow. Nah, I remember them pictures of you, Glorilla, where your ass, shorty, you look like a whole sherm head out there. Yeah. You done forgot all about that. You done went and got the breast job. You done went and got the nose reduction. You done did all these little things looking. Yeah, we gonna talk about that. But this little short, you know, this chick right here, if you like it or not, has charisma, and it's something with her. If done right, she'll be able to take herself to the next level off, you know, going at Glorilla. But it shouldn't have never even had to been that. But again, as black people, foundational black Americans, as niggas, soon as we get some money, oh, now nigga, oh, I'm big glow. I'm not. Nah, you are obligated. And again, right? The majority of us, we know that. We know. But nobody don't want to feel like nobody want to be the Tony Yayo out the situation. Yeah, I said that. Nobody want to be the Tony Yayo. Nobody want to be the slouch that you paying money to. But we all know this nigga just, you know, he do whatever 50 Cent say. Even he let 50 Cent humiliate him and treat him like a hoe. Yeah, treat him like a whole hoe out here for whatever. Yeah, we all know. We all got somebody in the family that has made it or has become successful, and we don't ask them for nothing. We don't ask them for money. We don't say, hey, can you help out? Can I lean on you? We don't do that because in our culture, we are, you know, they gonna make you feel like a slouch. They're gonna make you feel like a leech. They're gonna make you feel like you know, you trying to take something from them. You trying to take advantage of them. When the whole time we grew up eating motherfucking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches together. We grew up running around with holes in our shoes. We grew up in the ghetto. We grew up in poverty. Now all of a sudden you ain't obligated to nobody. Nah, nigga, that's false. And again, I can't play this whole live stream because she cussing, she talking, but she could do stand-up comedy. She could start a YouTube channel, and Glorilla could simply just come on a couple of her little live streams and turn that shit up. And she'll be getting a YouTube check. And now you ain't got to ask for no money. All right. Now, last but not least, man, I'm going to close with this when it comes to this situation, but I needed to say that, right? A lot of the times when you are living in poverty, you have a projection of yourself the way you see yourself. You haven't reached the opportunity or a time in your life where you could create that projection, right? Where you could create that image, but you see yourself a certain way, right? And what happens when you start to get paper, right? And I'm speaking from experience. What happens when you start to gain success, right? Is people come around that are yes men. People come around that are going to tell you yes. They're going to stroke your ego for whatever reason, right? And a lot of the time you start to cut off people that are not going to stroke your ego, that are not going to say yes, that are not yes men. You start to distance yourself from people that are absolutely going to tell you the truth. And that's something that I see in this situation as well. Glorilla looked just like Brorilla. Yeah, when you look at the old pictures of Glorilla and you look at the old pictures of Brorilla, they look just like each other. big bell pepper nose, right? Crazy teeth. They got that weird look in their eyes, right? It's genetics, right? Bro-Rilla was gonna be the one to tell Glorilla, girl, you don't get no, why is you getting that nose reduction? Girl, why is you getting breast implants? What is you doing? You look crazy. You look like fucking Michael Jackson. You see what I'm saying? Bro-Rilla is the person and is one of the siblings that is going to tell her not to do that shit. And she don't want to hear that. She want the people that's going, yeah, girl, why nobody ain't told Glorilla that she looked like Michael Jackson? She's starting to look like Little Kim. Why ain't nobody saying this? Everybody, oh, yo, she's beautiful. Yo, Glorilla. Come on, son. Stop it. Stop it. You should have kept your nose. That's like your genetic makeup. That's like a family emblem. All of y'all got that big ass nose. It's okay. Yeah, we was cool with you when you was fuck boy free and fuck nigga free and all that. We was cool with that. We thought that was cool. Now you got the breast implants, you got the nose reduction, you got the whole Michael Jackson, Billie Jean. Yeah, you look like Michael Jackson and Billie Jean, but nobody want to say that. But guess what? Bro-Rilla, if she was in the entourage, she would say that. Yeah, girl, what the fuck you do to your nose? You look like Michael Jackson. When you start to gain success, what happens is you become not a target. I don't want to say a target, but I want to just say it starts to change you. You're going to start to change when you get some money. And people always say this, right? Listen to me. Yo, it's not the person who get the money that change. It's the people around them. Nah, the people around you, the only thing that changes, they might ask you for something. They might ask you for some money or they might ask you for an opportunity. But other than that, it's you. You go, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Hold on, let me look at something real quick. Fuck it. I got a few minutes with y'all. Let me show y'all something, right? Let me show y'all something. All right, let's look at something real quick. Watch this. Watch this. Now I want to show y'all something now. I want to show y'all something. All right, now, hold on. Let me look. Let me pull it up. Because I just want to be honest with you. I'm gonna cut this up nice and neat, right? But I want to show y'all something. Now, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let me see something. Hold on. Let's look at it. Look. Now look. Look. Look at this shit right here. So my point is, right, who really changed? I'm sure that Bro-Rilla is the same person she was this whole time. Scarface Woods is the same sister She been the whole time. The only one has changed is Glorilla, respectfully. Okay? So, yes, Glorilla is obligated, right? And I'm going to close with this. I'm going to close with this last angle, right? You know, her sister got a lot of charisma. Her sister got a lot of charisma. She's funny, right? So I can only imagine what her other siblings is like. Imagine if Glorilla started like a family YouTube channel or a reality TV show for her siblings. You understand what I'm saying? Plug them in with Zeus. Plug them in with you know, Mona Scott. You see what I'm saying? Imagine if she created an opportunity for her. She got 9 brothers and sisters. Imagine what kind of money they could make on a reality TV show. It ain't necessarily about money, bro. It's really about opportunity. And it's mostly niggas that do this. Soon as they get some money, they think you want some money. Oh, don't ask me for money, man. I don't owe you guys anything. I'm not obligated to give you money. It's my money. How about a job, nigga? How about an opportunity? How about a business meeting? How about a business dinner where we sit down over some steak, or not even steak because we already talked about that, but how about we sit down over a pizza and we talk about ways we can make the family money, ways we could, you know, you done made millions of dollars. You are now successful. Why not pull your sister to the side and say, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? I can help you. Listen. I just purchased 2 laundry mats. I just purchased 2 laundry mats in a car wash. I need you to run them. 60-40. The more they make, the more you make. You understand what I'm saying? So I needed to throw that out there because I don't agree with all of these people saying that she ain't obligated. You are absolutely obligated. When you are the one that makes it to $1 million first, when you are the one that becomes successful out of your whole fucking family lineage, you are now obligated. Understand that success comes with a lot of responsibility. It's not just buying Maybachs and partying and smoking weed and doing it ain't just that. When you become successful, it comes with a certain amount of responsibility, bro, and it's a heavy responsibility that everybody can't handle. Everybody can't manage it. That's why everybody is not successful. That's why everybody family ain't gonna make it out, because it's a burden. That success and that money becomes a burden. And that's why I salute those Indians, because they understand that it's a burden and they take that shit full and head on. You know, you don't have $100 until you got $200. You ain't got $1 million until you got $2 million. Understand that? I don't want that to go over your head or under your bridge. But you don't got $1 million until you got $2 million. So if you are successful, your family ain't really successful until somebody else is successful, until you make somebody else successful, until you create opportunity for somebody else. And I promise you, the moment I see $1 million or $2 million, I'm gonna pull my nephew in. Yo, come with me. Hey, what you want to do? You going to college? Okay, go to college. Hey, you don't really know what you want to do? Come with me. Yo, put this camera, take this camera right here, and you gonna do this. Yo, listen. I'm be in town. I need you and you to meet me at Ocean Prom at 8 o'clock, and we need to talk business. Yeah, I'm not about to give you no money. I might help your pockets out a little bit. You need a little 2,500. I got you. But we need to talk about what you want to do. Matter of fact, don't worry about it. I'm about to buy this laundromat. All you got to do is maintenance the laundromat. Run the laundromat. Every month, have that count ready. Every 5 days, you need to go in the laundromat. You need to empty out the quarters. You need to empty out the ones and the 10s and the 20s out of all the machines. You need to take that money back to your house. You need to count that money, and you need to organize that money. All the quarters need to be somewhere. I want all the bills wrapped up a certain way. And every month, I need count on what this laundromat is making. Man, this laundromat doing about 40,000 a month, bro. Okay, give me 10, you take 30. I'm gonna make sure you right. I don't really need the money. I'm just creating opportunity. So for everybody that feels like Glorilla is not obligated, you need to watch those type of people. Don't say nothing. Don't go back and tell nobody what I told you. Just ask one of your homies, ask one of your sisters, ask somebody that you deal with. Yo, what you think about Glorilla and the Brorilla situation? You think Glorilla's obligated? You think she's not? And when they tell you, she ain't obligated to do nothing for them niggas like that, she ain't supposed to. Just straighten up your shit like this. Straighten up your shit and don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Yo, what you think about the situation with Glorilla? She ain't obligated to do nothing for them motherfucker. That ain't her motherfucker. All right. Beautiful. So I'm not going to do a live stream on that. What I am going to do is I'm going to use that and I'm going to clip it up and I'm going to make a pre-recorded video and that will be up for people that, don't make it through the whole live stream to get this game right here. You'll be able to get that on the pre-recorded video. Big salute to the chat. Yeah, man. I needed to say that. You feel what I'm saying? We got to get out of that mind state. We got to get that fixed. And trust me, I know successful people, bro. I would never ask them for help. I would never ask them for a certain opportunity because it's ingrained in our community that, ain't nobody supposed to help you. Get it out the mud. Nigga, nobody ain't obligated. Nigga, don't ask nobody for nothing, nigga, because you a grown-ass man. Like, yo, imagine if we had the mind state with all the riches and fortune that we got in our community. Imagine if we thought like that. Imagine if just your family members thought like that. Listen, all right, you going to college. This what we going to do. You going to be there. Okay, we going to use that. Okay, let's go buy a laundromat. Let's go buy a restaurant. Let's go buy a franchise. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. And then now, next thing you know, we got 13 franchise restaurants and everybody eating. But see, you got about that bucket. You made it about a poverty, and now you believe you don't owe nobody nothing. I beg to differ. All right? So you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? You already know. You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. Listen, man, I suggest you tap into this grown man business. I suggest you tap into this grown man content at all times. You already know what it is. Straight off the brick into the bottles. Straight off the brick. Straight pure dope. Straight off the brick into the bottles. No fentanyl, no baking soda, no quinine. We ain't water whipping this dope and we ain't counter whipping this dope. It's straight off the brick into the bottles. Nothing more, nothing less. Feel what I'm saying? The downloads told me to add that Glorilla situation to the back of this live stream because I went a little deep with the first information. The human trafficking, Figueroa, the underage prostitution. I went a little bit deep with that. The cloning, the cannibalism. I went a little bit deep with that. And I know they watching. I know they paying attention. And I don't want that kind of smoke. I don't want no smoke, but I ain't ducking no smoke neither. Ever. Okay? Big salute to my wrenches, man. Y'all did an amazing job. I seen y'all working in here. Breezy Santana, goddamn, Mr. Universe, Miss Lovelace, see y'all in here working. We got to keep it like that from here on out. You know what I'm saying? The subscribers and all that is a beautiful thing. We ain't trying to, decrease or go on a decline when it comes to the subscribers. You know, we only going up. You feel what I'm saying? But at the same time, we ain't, you know, I'd rather get rid of you than to have you as a subscriber if you playing around. I'd rather hide you from the channel and make you, you know, yeah. I'd rather do that than to have you playing around in the chat and secretly trying to shoot the channel and secretly playing around with this message. You know what I'm saying? It's never a loss. It's always a lesson. And I learned a valuable lesson with that last situation. A valuable lesson. It only got to happen one time. I'm not somebody that, yeah, all I need is one situation. All I need is one mic. Yeah, man. Yo, man, I got a lot of people in the DM asking me about this J. Cole album. I think I'm going to do a live stream on that. I think I'm gonna do a live stream on that tomorrow, man. I'm gonna talk about that. I'll say this, man. I'm a big fan of J. Cole's music. This album, to me, is named exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's the fall off. It's a rap. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing more that J. Cole can even rap about that's worth. You know, his whole discography is already, you know, he got landmines, he got classics, you know what I mean? And this album just didn't, I don't know, man. It didn't reach my expectations. I don't know what I thought he was going to do, but I'd rather listen to his old music. It's some fire joints up there, though. You know what I'm saying? I definitely like a couple of songs, but, you know, it's a double disc, and it's a lot of music, and, you know, a lot of that shit, I'm just skipping through it. I'm not even listening to the whole, so I'm like, nah, that ain't it, boss. Nah. I'm like, yeah, I mean, did every now and then I get a couple of, so I might talk about that tomorrow, man. Big salute to J. Cole, man. Yeah, maybe that's just what it, but I'm gonna tell you, right? I'll say this, man. When it's pure dope, man, you ain't gotta hit it twice. You know what I mean? I really believe that. And, you know, that's always been proven right to me. When the dope is pure, you ain't gotta, Forest Hill Drive, that shit, I didn't have to listen twice. I heard that shit the first time I heard these songs. I knew, I understood instantly, oh, this shit is fire. If you're reading this, might delete later, fire. Born Sinner, that Born Sinners album, absolutely magnificent music. You know what I mean? For Your Eyes Only, fire, bro. J. Cole got albums, bro, that is absolutely fire. And I only had to listen. The first time I listened to him, I knew what it was. Even his mix CDs, Friday Night Lights, classic. I didn't have to listen to that shit 3 times to know what it was. The Blow Up, the Come Up, classic mixtapes. I didn't have to listen to them 2-3 times to know that they was fire. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that that I guess with this album, I'm gonna have to listen to it twice. I'm gonna have to go back and listen again, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't, nah. Man, I mean, you said it, you know what I mean? Yo, you gotta listen to it twice. Forest Hill Drive, I ain't have to listen to that twice. I still play that shit to this day. Like I said, Born Sinner, classic album. Yo, that Born Sinners album, yo, I listened to, when the album dropped the other night, I was over the road, and I listened to it. I started listening to it, and I got like 2-3 songs in the first CD, and I got out of there. I ended up listening to the old DMX. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. I ended up listening to some old DMX. I listened to old DMX. I listened to some old Mobb Deep, and I listened to some old J. Cole. I listened to his old music. I don't like this. I ain't gonna say I don't like it. I gotta listen to it again. It's just that shit ain't what it ain't, nah, B. And it's a double disc. So that's a lot of music, bro. Like, he should have He should have just weighed that shit down to maybe like 15 songs and just dropped the regular CD. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he should have did it though. It's too much. And that shit ain't. Yeah. Salute to Cole though, man. I got a lot. I rock with J. Cole. This album ain't really, nah. I think it's exactly what it's supposed to be, what it's called. It's called The Fall Off. You know what I mean? And he has reached his plateau with this music shit. He has reached a ceiling where it ain't, what he gonna talk about? He talking about, nigga getting shy. He's still talking about talking to girls. His one song, he's like, yo, he talking to the chick at the club. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, what in the hell is going? I'm gonna end with this, right? Imagine if J. Cole, now that he's obtained all this money, he has obtained all this success, right? He's at the top of the mountain with this shit. Imagine if this nigga really told us what's going on. Imagine if he really like turned militant. Like, nigga, you done obtained all this shit. You at the top of the mountain. Now it's time to like go militant. Like, imagine if he did that. That nigga would be dangerous. He got them big ass dreadlocks, you know what I'm saying? He's a mulatto, he half white, he half black. He start talking like dangerous. That nigga would be a threat to the establishment. But he's still talking like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, that 60 million can make you, the higher you go up on the totem pole, the further away from the ground you become. You know what I mean? The more money you get, the more money you get, the further away from having your feet on the ground you become. That's why like rich people always talk about getting jobs and shit. Oh, I want to get a job to see what it feels like. Be like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? The nigga J. Cole riding around in a Honda Civic selling his mix CD because he's trying to feel the ground again. He done went too high up, you know what I'm saying? So now he want to ride around in a Honda Civic. And if we had his money, we'd be wanting to ride around in the Maybach or the Rolls Royce or the Lamborghini. So I just feel like because he is obtained so much, that nigga ain't talking that talk, man. You know what I mean? He probably should have sparred with Kendrick. I think that shit would have did him some good. You know what I'm saying? I think like if he would have went ahead and sparred with Kendrick lyrically, that would have sharpened him. You know what I mean? But yeah, he ain't. First listen, I give the album like a 6.5. I give it like a 6.5, maybe a 7 for the production. You know what I'm saying? I really like the samples and I really like the production of the album. But like, as far as what Cole did on it, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nigga. You know what I'm saying? This nigga riding around in a Honda Civic, trying to feel the ground again, trying to get back to what it felt like to be in that situation. And once you out of it, nigga, you out of it. Ain't no coming back. I know that personally. I ain't made 60 million, but I know what it feel like to have like, you know what I mean? Like, nigga got $250,000 in the account. Like, it's hard to go back to like, you know what I mean? But I can only imagine making $100 million. You know what I would do with that? You know what I would be doing if I had 100 million? I would be buying shit to put my people on. Like Glorilla's supposed to be doing. I be in Memphis, Tennessee, buying up laundry mats and buying up car washes and shit like that and buying up property. Next thing you know, I got a real estate portfolio with 40 properties in it. You know what I'm saying? And I tell my siblings, look, here you go. I give everybody a property. 100,000 for this property, 250,000 for that property. You know what I'm saying? And now you run that property. It's yours. The deed is in your name. You could sell it, right? You could rent it out. The deed is in your name. And if you want, I could show you how to get more property. But here go your shit right here. Don't ask me for nothing. You know what I mean? I'm going to put you in position. now you ain't gotta ask me for nothing. But you know how we do when we get some money. Oh, we're not obligated to help you. Yeah, he need to go militant. That nigga J. Cole need to start talking like grown man business TV. That nigga need to, this album right here should have been like the fall off. He should have been talking about the higher ups and elites, nigga. Like reptilians, nigga. Adrenochrome. Sex trafficking. Racism. The apocalypse. He's supposed to have been talking, yo, I think that's what I expected from him. He's still talking about like, you know, his first time talking to the girl from high school, and he saw the girl from his school that he always wanted, and you know what I mean? Like your favorite rapper, Noah, like nigga, like, hey, bro, I don't want to hear no gangster shit from J. Cole, nigga. I don't want to hear nothing about no fade. Talking about some run me my fade. He got a song where he talking about run him his fade. Nigga, you won't even take a fade lyrically. Why is you rapping about running fades with people? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, nah, Jay, you dropped the ball, man. It's a song up there where he's saying, run me my fade, nigga. I need to get the fade. Like, you ain't even want to run a fade with Kendrick Lamar. But you want somebody to run a fade, nigga. Nah, man, get your ass up out of here, man. You know what I mean? Big salute to the chat, man. Y'all already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out. But you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in.